Extravagant Fragrances here. How's everybody doing? If you're new here, go ahead and give me a like there. We carry over 200 different fragrances, non-alcoholic fragrances. If you are allergic to alcohol, these fragrances do not contain alcohol, so it's good to apply to your skin. They're cosmetic grade, which means you can put it on your skin. There's different types of fragrances out there, and not all fragrance you can put on your skin. You've got industrial grade fragrances. These are cosmetic grade. Thanks for joining in. Go ahead and give me a share here. Like and share. How's it going, everybody? We're on more than one platform right now, so sure, please. No. Yeah, I'll have some tea. Thanks, babe. How's it going, everybody? Just pick something. Green tea. How's some green tea? We're big tea drinkers in this house. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining in, everybody. We're doing kind of a Q&A. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for coming in. These are all non-alcoholic fragrances. Yeah, my mouth is dry right now. How you doing, everybody? How's it going? Thanks for joining in. Like and share. Like and share. If you have any questions about fragrance, your body type, what fragrances, if you need any suggestions, let's see here. Just some of my recommendations. I'm going to tell you guys what I carry with me. If I had to rush out the door, if this was like that Netflix series, if this was like Leave the World Behind or something like that, I'll tell you which fragrance that I would, if I had to like leave, like right now, what will be in my bug out bag. And it's going to be the multi-billionaire. It's going to be White Oud. And it's going to be the Pink Privacy, hands down. Hands down. That's what it's going to be. Let's see here. I'm still trying to figure out this other I probably got some people asking questions here. Okay. Yep, White Oud. I highly recommend White Oud. You will not be disappointed with that fragrance. I use White Oud in a lot of blends as well. Like if you're into mucullets, you're gonna like the White Oud. Everybody, it's just one of those super attention getters. The Pink Privacy is a very inexpensive fragrance. It's a super attention getter as well. It's sweet, it's floral, it's got notes of melons and also some floral notes. Thanks for joining in. Like and share. If you are one of the regulars that usually comes in, um, ask me anything fragrance related. Like and share. Um, thanks for joining in, everybody. Like and share. We're gonna make this a little interesting because, to be honest with you guys, I really don't like to be on these lives and not have anything to talk about. So we're going to Chat GPT, guys. Just gonna let you know straight up, we are going to Chat GPT, and we're gonna boom, 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 layering. Let's talk about layering, guys and ladies. Let's talk about layering. Some different fragrances that I recommend layering. The soft is a unisex fragrance. This is one of those fragrances I recommend layering. I know a lot of in my circle of fragrance vendors, specifically the fragrance oil vendors or the uttar meaning the oils, right? I have a lot of friends who do layering, right? So what they'll do is they'll carry like maybe like two or three different loud fragrances, and they will go and they will swipe one on, right? And then they'll just on the same wrist. What they'll do, they'll swipe another layer of another fragrance, and then on that same wrist, they'll swipe a third layer, and then they'll just mix it all up. So these fragrances here can be layered. I highly recommend is layering. Uh, there's different ways you could do it. You could take the fragrance. This is why I'm really big on the fragrance oils and the others, the imported fragrances, is that you can get the bottles. You could take an empty container, like a roll on or a swiper. You could pour it all into one container and mix it up. And that's one way to layer, right? That's called a mulcullet, is when you mix your fragrances up, right? And then you roll it on. So you create your own niche fragrance. Okay, that's what I like about the fragrance oils versus the sprays. With the sprays, you can't, like, when those bottles come to you, you gotta yank the crimper off. Is really hard. If you all have, how's it going, everybody? Deontay Jones, how you doing? Hey man, thanks for viewing in. Thanks for following me all these years. I appreciate that. Throw any questions you have about fragrance, anything in the chat, whatever, and we can have a conversation about that. But right now we're talking about layering. We're talking about mixing your own fragrances that's unique to your body. I run into a lot of guys that are, and my fragrance heads. They know who they are. I have some of those followers and customers that are like big frag heads. I call them frag heads. I got a few friends that are what we call bean heads too. We're big on the bean. We're big on the coffee, right? But uh, what they do is they don't like to wear fragrances that everybody else is wearing. I get that a lot. A lot of people are like, yeah, send me something that nobody else is wearing. Send me something niche. That's the big thing right now. I did a little search actually. Maybe some of you guys might not want to hear this, but I do a lot of research on Chat GPT. And one of the researches, I asked Chat GPT, I said, will AI take over fragrance? And the answer that I got back was, well, because walaikum salam, uh, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking, brother. or sister. I don't know who if you're a brother or sister, but yes, alhamdulillah, I'm doing very well. But we're here talking about the layering fragrances and blending your own fragrances, like your own niche, making your own unique blends. The so we have a viewer here. We're on two platforms right now. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I gotta watch the sisters, man. They be coming in the chat causing the fitna and stuff up in here. So the question was, we're gonna come back to the blending your own fragrances in a minute. But the fragrance we got here on the one platform is how much of the essential oils, how much ml or essential oil bottles do you have? So these are not essential oils. I don't market them as essential oils. That's another confusion a lot of people have, is that sometimes they confuse the fragrances, the fragrance oils or the utters as essential oils. Now, some of them are essential oils. I've had stuff sent to me from abroad, and they were marketed to me as essential oils. Some of them were actually essential oils. And then, but most of them are fragrance oils. And so the difference between the two is that you have synthetics in some of your fragrances, and then you also have some essential oils in the fragrance. So, and then you also have fixatives, right? A fixative is what slows basically the evaporation rate of the fragrance oil on your skin. And so that's why the fragrance oils, I never market them as essential oils, just because essential oils take on a role of therapy that's used as like people use them for natural remedies and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't want to market. I definitely don't want to market the fragrance oils as essential oils. Yeah, sure, they may have essential oils in them, but I don't ever want to market them as essential oils, because let's say lavender, for example, right? A lavender fragrance oil might be used as an industrial fragrance. It might be used in, let's say, something like making incense sticks, right? Or it might be used, whatever. It might be used in some kind of big corporate company where they put them in those little things that, the plugins or whatever, right? And those a lot of times are industrial fragrances. Yeah. Yeah, some of them, I mean, yeah, I know there's some fragrances where I'm like, I just want to inhale that fragrance, and I have to remind myself, like, yeah, these are not the essential oils here, you know. Well, what are one of the fragrances that you like to get a good whiff of? Thanks, babe. This is a big cup right here. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining in. Go and hit that like. It's free, guys. It's all free. It's free. We're on two platforms, YouTube. Oops, I gotta be careful. These platforms, they get jealous of each other. This platform doesn't want promote your post from that platform and so on. Yeah, they get jealous. Like and share. Anything with a fruity note, inhaling good, but don't want to be smelling fruity. I hear you on that. I have a new fragrance that I plan on picking up, and it is a mango. It's a mango fragrance, but it's not like the mango fragrances that I use for making like the incense sticks or the incense oils. The mango fragrance that I carry is actually it's a fine fragrance, meaning like there's kind of like layers to it. There's notes in it, and so I'm thinking of naming that fragrance, that particular mango. Remember me. That's what I want to name it. That's what I want to name that fragrance. I want to name it Remember Me, just because it's a really premium fragrance. I've never smelled a mango like that, where it's like there's layers to it. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Are you in Africa, capital? Tell me about Africa. So we got a fragrance. Yeah, what country are you in specifically? We got people viewing in here. Looks like we got some people in here viewing from Africa. So we're on two platforms, everybody. We're over here on TikTok Live, but TikTok over here, we're also live on YouTube as well. And so that platform, we talk about like the entrepreneurial side, the how to start a fragrance business, um, small enterprise. That's the kind of stuff we talk about over there. So we got we got a viewer over here from Egypt, and he's asking on general advice on how to set up a wholesaling operation in Africa. Any general advice? He relocated from London, UK, and he's in Egypt right now, but he wants to set up in East Africa. LPR Deontay over here. He said we're also talking about different blends. We're talking about oud. It's one of the most expensive raw materials in perfume making in the world. Yeah. But so we're kind of bouncing back and forth here between the question about setting up a wholesale operation in Africa with the fragrances. Uh, I hear that there's a lot of opportunities in Africa right now. I personally have friends that uh, are going back and forth to Africa from the United States. Damien, how you doing? Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Do you mind if I do you mind if I share a little about you, or do you want to just kind of stay anonymous here? I like to talk about people's success stories too. Um, it's up to you, bro. No problem if you don't want me to say anything. Yeah, so we got a new vendor here today, Damien. He picked up his wholesale kit today, and it was his first day as a fragrance vendor. Not to go off subject, I know we're talking about blends, we're talking about Africa, but how did that go today? Your first day vending the fragrances, Damien. Thanks for viewing in, like and share. We've got over 36 fragrances here in the shop. Extravagant Fragrances carries over 200 fragrances in our library, all non-alcoholic fragrances, some imports, some domestics. Um, that's great, Damien. Did you get any pushback, or was it like, did you get people jumping all over it? How big is a ml? So the biggest, Deontay, the biggest milliliters the fragrances go uh, that I carry is going to be the big fat 1 ounce roll-ons. Those are the ones that I retail. Of course, I do wholesale as well, but on the retail, the biggest size that I sell is the 1 ounce roll-on. Sometimes I'll get special requests where people want it in the fancy decanter, like the 100 ml. Excuse me, 100 ml decanters, and then they'll ask me to ship the fragrance separately, in which they can refill into the decanter. I do plan on getting some other fancy decanters. Um, so, but yeah, the biggest size is the 1 ounce, which I believe that is, I want to say that is 36 mLs. 36 mLs. So you basically in 1 ounce you get like 3 1/3 roll-ons, which is like the popular size that Damien here picked up. Damien picked up the 1/3 ounce roll-on. So 3 of those would make up an ounce. They like the Born in Roma. Yeah, that's an awesome fragrance. I have some incoming packages. That probably got delivered to me by now. I also got some stuff that just came in from China. We got some decanters coming in from overseas right now. But Capital, we're talking about. You asked if I could post the TikTok in here. I don't know how to do that, to be honest with you. You know what? I've been a YouTuber for a long time, but I'm still learning this whole TikTok deal. Everything's really fast. Everything's real fast with the TikTok. What is that, baby? Yeah, I was thirsty. I'm leaving. Thanks, babe. Yeah. So we got Deontay's here, says that he wears all perfume, cologne, unisex, and parfum. I wear it, man. You're my guy, man. You are my guy, because those are the people I like to deal with. Ones that just are like me, like they like to wear the fragrance. On TikTok, it's Extravagant Fragrance without the S. Lavelle Fragrances Inc. What is that? Is that your company? Yeah, keep at that, Damien. Keep at that, man. The in person look. If you're in the fragrance business, if you're in the fragrance oil business, you're looking at getting started in the business. The in person really is the best way to go. The best way to go, because in person you're dealing with a lot of people that are when you get the fragrance in front of their nose, it's just a upfront and personal experience that you don't quite get that you don't quite get in person. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Let me see here. We got some more questions. We were talking about Damien, first time vendor here of the fragrance body oils. He talked about how he works in the hospital, and that's great. That's the perfect way to do it. Is say, if for example, if you're in an environment where you are, working around people, every day, you're a walking billboard. If you have the fragrance on and you're going to and from, you're walking down hallways and you're wearing the fragrance, people are going to smell you. They're going to stop you. People are gonna be like, "Oh, this person smells great. What is that? What are you wearing?" And in that kind of case, I recommend like a lot of the loud fragrances. Like Damien here picked up Soft, which is one of the premium fragrances. Yeah, he's Deontay, you're in Dallas, Dallas, Texas. What do you do? You're into the fragrances out there. Um, how's it going out there? I actually made a purchase from Texas today. Yeah, so wearing the fragrances is really the best way to advertise it. If you're in a work environment where you are coming in contact with people and coworkers and all that kind of stuff, it makes it a lot easier to sell the fragrance. And from that point you can collect orders. Sometimes like you really don't even have to have the upfront product. If they're smelling it on you, and say for example you don't have the fragrance, and they're like, "Yo, get that for me." I've had that many times. They're like, people will ask me, "Hey, get that fragrance for me, and I'll give you the money for it." Or sometimes they'll just give you the money up front. So that's another way that you can uh, get into the fragrance, because let's face it, inflation is just eating up. Uh, if you are working for a salary or a wage, it's just eating people's wages and salaries up. So you have to find a way to combat that. And I believe that this is what Damien here. Then he's a new vendor. And I believe that's what he did. He wanted some extra income. He wanted to bring in another stream of income, which is a very smart move. I have family members that I try to tell them that all the time. Like if you are working a job or something where you're getting a fixed amount of income coming in, inflation it goes up. They say 6% per year. The rate of inflation, it might be higher now, I don't know, but I know it's 6% inflation per year, which means if you saved, let's say if you saved up, they say the average American doesn't have more than 500 bucks for an extreme emergency. So let's say if you saved up, uh, I don't know, 300 bucks a month, 200 bucks a month, and you did that for 10 years at a job. That means, let's say you save 300 bucks a year. Let's times that by 10 years. Okay. And then so that means by in 10 years, if you just put that away, that means you save 3,000 bucks, right? Which is really not a lot in 10 years. And then minus 6%, right? I'm sorry, 3,000 minus 6% inflation per year times 10, that's 60% inflation. That means you've lost over half of what you saved. That means inflation would have you down to $1,200 saved in 10 years. So that's what I'm saying is absolutely vital if you are working in a field where you are selling things, you're buying things, or I'm sorry, you're working for a wage, or you have a fixed set of income coming in. It is absolutely vital to be in some kind of trade where you're buying or selling things. It's absolutely essential. Um, so we're gonna go back here, Damon. We're gonna follow up with that vanilla bean. We were talking about the brother here in Egypt. He was talking about setting up a wholesale operation in Egypt with the fragrances, and um, the thing about Africa that I've run across is they do not play when it comes to how they sell fragrance in Africa. My I have a family member who used to be big on the Avon, and she was crushing it. The Africans used to come here to the States. They would buy her stuff retail. They would buy it retail, take it back to Africa, and because it wasn't even there, Avon wasn't even there in Africa, they would mark it up. They would mark it up. Somebody in Africa somewhere had money, uh, because because American goods over there is just a huge thing, right? So, for example, I talked to one person this one time. They were telling me that, so for example, in Africa, if they have, let's say, a specific brand of diapers or a specific baby formula, then over there, oh yeah, that's right. This person had an aunt who was taking stuff back that was, like, for example, like we have certain branded soaps here in the United States, and let's say Dove, for example. Like, okay, you have just the plain basic Dove, right? And over there, they might only have 1 scent, but here we have like multiple different scents of Dove soap, right? And so this person will take the other scents that we get, because we have a lot more options here. They would take those to Africa, and they would just sell out. And same thing with the Avon, right? So Merciful here said her grandma sold Avon for over 65 years. She's 93 years old now. Yep. Yeah. I know a lot of people that got into the Avon. But as far as setting up a wholesale operation in Africa, um, if you're on TikTok here, please hit them likes, get me up there in the ranks, guys. I wanted to do a live giveaway today. I'm still trying to figure that out, though. I don't know. I'm not really fully sure about the live giveaways yet. But as far as setting up YouTube, as far as setting up a wholesale operation in Africa, what I would recommend is see, over there they do. I've seen, like, in Nigeria, for example, they do things a little differently, and what they'll do is they will, and this is where here in the United States, we got to get better at this. I'm talking a lot of the communities, not just one specific community. Here, we like to be so daggone independent that we don't use the power of people. We don't use the power of our communities. You understand what I'm saying? Put our money together and go in on a big investment, right? Of course, it takes some trust, but I've seen fragrance vendors out of Africa create groups, and then what they'll do is they'll create a group, they'll go in, they'll buy a whole big bulk amount of the fragrance oils. They'll buy it in bulk, they'll get that wholesale price, and they'll get their bottles, all of that. And then when it gets back to Africa, they divvy it up amongst each other because Africa's vast. They're going to take it to multiple different places, and it's going to sell no matter where they're at. Looking for an investor. It's hard, no lie, huh? Yeah. Yeah, but you know what though? There's a lot of different things you can come into with a little bit of money and grow it. Like for example, I'm over here on TikTok Live. You could start showcasing people's like products, and then just go live. Just go live and just talk and showcase certain products. And when people go in and they buy the products, then you get a commission of that, off of that. So there are a few different ways to go about it. What kind of Deontay? What kind of business are you trying to get into? So, but go ahead. If you want to answer that question, he's trying to get a loan. What is your community like where you're at? So back here, I'm listening, Deontay. Damien here, he picked up the vanilla bean. Damien, how did the vanilla bean go? What kind of reactions did you get to the vanilla bean? I'm gonna pin that here in the shop, TikTok shop. Vanilla bean is the stuff. That one, I don't personally know anybody that has that kind of vanilla bean. So I'm pinning that right now. I'm gonna pin that here. If you're looking for a really good vanilla bean, this vanilla bean is just out of sight. It's a really good unisex fragrance. Oh, I'm sorry, Deontay. You say you're looking for an investor, so you want to go in with a business partner. You with the fragrance business or what kind of business? Yeah, the vanilla bean is a really good one. That's a really good fragrance. It has a nice projection. Yeah, more iced tea. No. My advice on the fragrance business: get a few fragrances. If you can round up $100, that's all you need. If you want to get started in the fragrance, that's what I like about this business. You can get what you need on the fly, right? You could say, hey, look, for example, with my website, if there's any specific fragrances you want, just hit me up and send me an email. I'll put it here in the chat, and I can put something together for you, like a combined shipping rate or something like that. You tell me just what your needs are as far as coming in, starting off small. Another thing you can do is if you want me to put together like a little sample pack, you can sample it out, have some of your customers try the fragrance, and then just to see how they gravitate towards it, and then do pre-orders. That's another way you can do it. You could take the master list. You can show it around. You could take pre-orders like that. Um, so that's another way if you're trying to jump kick or kind of get a little, yeah, jump start your fragrance business. That's one way you can do it. And when I very first started, that's what I used to do. I used to go around with a list. I used to go around with a few fragrances that I was wearing. I'd wear it. People would smell it. People would pre-order. Sometimes people would give me give me the cash on the spot, and I would take that and go and place my wholesale orders. And then the money I made from that, I still kept my day job, but the money that I made from that, I took it right back into ordering wholesale and adding new fragrances, and I just kept on doing that. I didn't spend anything for a long time. Because I figure like this. Look, if you're living on the edge, right? And I've been in that situation like back in 2008 where I was really living on the edge, and you already only have a certain amount of money for, at the end of the month, right? Uh, and so if I had the money to get a few fragrances and then make a profit and then take that money and put it back into building the business, I'm still kind of like, I guess you could kind of say I'm like a little psychological game you play with yourself where it's like you're still making yourself think like you're still living on the edge, but you are using your profits to stock new inventory. And that's really where it's at, because with inflation eating us up, um, in a commodity like fragrance, for example, you could take that fragrance. Let's say, for example, if gas goes up, let's say $5 tomorrow, right? And you're sitting on a few quarter pounds, 1 ounce, 1 pound, however much fragrance you're sitting on, and well, yeah, you're gonna have to make an adjustment. That pound or that quarter pound or that roll on that you're selling is gonna have to go up. And I know some brothers that don't get it. They don't understand that, or they understand that, but they still want you to have pre $5 a gallon gas prices on your fragrances. Do you get what I'm saying? And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Um, Hold on a second here. So I'm trying to follow up here. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Like and share. Um, so the vanilla bean seems to be doing really well. You have over 23 fragrances I made. I just need the bottles and essential oils. I'm just ready to launch everything. I get what you're saying. Yeah. The Shulk at BMC, that is going out. I'm gonna try to have that out tomorrow. Thanks for that order, by the way. I'll make a note. I'll try to remember to put that vanilla bean in the order as a sample. If you haven't tried it yet. Thanks for joining in here. Give a like here. Like and share. Trying to follow up here with some of the questions. How does the incense sticks work? Do the order of fragrance sticks already made? Yes, and the fragrance, the incense sticks are already there. I make them fresh. I don't like to put out incense sticks that aren't made fresh. So when you get them and you open the package, they're gonna look even kind of wet when you get them. And in the first, within like a few days, they will dry up. But the incense sticks on the website, um, that is I try to make sure I put out 100% premium quality on the incense sticks on the website. Wow, TikTok is slow right now. We only got 4 people viewing in. What's going on here? Let me see. I'm gonna try something here, TikTok. We're gonna try to do a giveaway. I have no idea what I'm doing really, but we're gonna try a giveaway. Let's try a giveaway. See if we can get some traction. Everybody, it's like prime time right now. Prime time. Okay, let's see here. Prince of Real Estate. Hi, assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing? Long time no see. Alhamdulillah, I'm 100% better since the accident. Hitting the weights again, you know, hitting the weights again. Everything's healed up. No issues. Hold on a second here. This laptop. I can't see this. All right. I'm trying to look at what Damien said here. BMC, yeah, we're gonna get the vanilla bean in that. I'm gonna try to make sure to write. As a matter of fact, let me just write that down real quick. I'm gonna take a quick note. Can I use this? One of these? So we got a request here for the vanilla bean. And that is going out with the Anna Ashok that was ordered. So boom, right there. Okay, yeah. I'm just letting you know. I made a note. I did not forget. Did not forget. I will be. Boom. It's right here hanging. Okay. Okay. Damien said, when you first smell the fragrance, it smells a little strong, but it blends in while wearing it, if that makes sense. Which fragrance is blended? Are you talking about the layering, Damien? Monica K, thank you. How's the Swiss Rose compared to the other rose fragrances? Swiss Rose is that one is a that one smells very foreign. It's a very, very strong Swiss Rose. That one's a really strong one. Highly recommend it. If you're into the rose, I would say it's probably even maybe a little bit overpowering. You gotta go light on the Swiss Rose. Let's see here. Yeah, 1 second. Prince of Real Estate. Yeah, I know, man. I'm just I get like that sometimes. Whoops, I did. Hold on a second. Suna Aroma is back also. Yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. I honestly I get. I'm just like that's just kind of how I am. Where I will be really fully into my mojo, and then I'll fall off, and then I'll be really into my mojo again. I got to get better with this. I got to really get better. Damien says he gets compliments every day wearing that fragrance. Which one was that? Was that the soft or the vanilla bean? You said the vanilla bean. Yeah. Yeah. That for some reason I'm hearing more with the guys on the vanilla bean. The a whole lot of compliments on that. That probably more than I'm hearing about females. Because I've sampled out to a lot of guys. A lot of guys are are giving me a lot of good feedback on the vanilla bean. We're over here in TikTok shop. Thanks for the likes. Like and share, everybody. I pinned vanilla bean here to the top. Thanks for the follow. Yes, sir. Deontay said you apply fragrance on your hot points right after the shower or the bath. I actually put it on at right like after I'm dried up out of the shower. He said oils never stop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just if you're in this business, like you already know, once you get in, you don't get out. There's no getting out. I mean, I have to be honest, guys. I dream about oils. Like there was a vendor that I used to go to. Excuse me. And they used to name their fragrances like celebrity names and stuff like that. And I had a dream that I was back in the shop, man. I mean, this dream was so vivid. And he like takes celebrity names and like he'll name the oils those names. and and I had a dream. I'm in my dream, and he's like, and I'm like, I go over to the shelf and I pull the fragrance bottle off the shelf, and it says instead of Prince uh or Perry Ellis, it said Prince Ellis. I'm like, this guy he named the fragrance Prince Ellis. And it just really made me think of that vendor, and I just had to reach out. I had to reach out to him, just to see how he was doing, because when you first get started in this business, and then you go and you look back, you look at the old people that got you started, and the memories of certain fragrances, certain environments that you were in. Let's say, for example, like Damien, I was like, this is a really nostalgic moment for me because it was his first time getting started in the fragrance business. And it really reminded me of when I very first got started, you know. Um, so yeah, I do right out the shower. How to put the fragrance on TikTok? We're live here on more than one platform. How to put the fragrance on? These are non-alcoholic fragrances, and the way you apply the non-alcoholic fragrance is how I do it. I put it on the wrist, one here, or I put it underneath, right? And then I'll take the wrist and I'll put it right behind my neck like this. I'll put it over here, and then I put it over my head. And then I'll take the back of my wrist, and then I'll just kind of like wipe the residual on my pants. So we got a question here. Do you only have 2 fragrances for women? So no, the fragrances for women, we're over here live on TikTok. The fragrances for women that I highly recommend is going to be the blue raspberry sugar candy. That's a really nice one. Purple slushy, which is kind of really, to me, smells kind of like a unisex fragrance. And then the vanilla bean, that's a unisex fragrance, but it really could go both ways, men or women. And then the soft has been a very popular fragrance with women. I actually sent some of that off to a family member. And I have family members wearing that particular fragrance. The let's see here. We got a request here for here. I'm gonna show you the soft. We will be back with the questions, guys. Just give me one moment here. I'm gonna pin the soft, and I pinned wait, hold on a second. There we go. And then the pink privacy is just a really big seller. That that right there, I'm pinning that to the top for women. That's a top women's fragrance right there. So we're coming back here to answer some questions. He layers the oils over sprayer here. The Prince of Real Estate. Yeah, you love the fragrance. What are some of your best memories with fragrance there? Prince of Real Estate. Love black and white leather and Make a Better Tomorrow. Is that the name of it? Make a Better Tomorrow. Black and white leather. Wow, I've never heard of those two. I think maybe black leather, but I've never heard of white leather. That sounds good. Deer musk is crazy. Only need one drop. Yeah, you gotta watch with the deer musk though, because the pure deer musk is very almost. I would say almost like if you've ever smelled a pure deer musk, it's almost like a fecal. Smells like a fecal matter. We said so. We're asked. Somebody's requesting the purple slushy here. Well, I'm gonna pin purple slushy. We got the purple slushy fragrance. I'm gonna be pinning that. Hold on a second. I'm gonna add that to the showcase here because it is in here. Another seller is the All Over. I'm trying to be rated G here. If you already know what that is. Wait a minute. I thought I did post purple slushy. Apparently. Oops. Let me see here. I thought I did. No, that's not up. I'm sorry. But some of my top picks among the ladies is going to be the sugar cookie snickerdoodle. When I say that fragrance smells exactly like a cinnamon sugar a sugar cookie snickerdoodle smells exactly like a fresh baked cookie. And also so does the cinnamon sugar donut. That's another really good one. That one I'm expecting a lot of good feedback on those two fragrances. Those particular, also the blue raspberry candy. Yeah, but Prince of Real Estate, the deer musk is really good. If you're using it as a base note, if you're using it to blend, I highly recommend that. It's a really good blending fragrance. How's it going? Thanks for joining in. It's good. It's good in a McCulloch. We got to follow. We got some questions here. The Golden Sand oud is the best sweet fragrance. Yeah, I like that. I have a domestic Golden Sand. Yeah, soft is also that one is a hit. I actually I interchange that with Anoa Shok. It's kind of interchangeable. I lost connect with my old supplier. Merciful, yes. Now the purple slushy, it is on the master list of the website. So if you go to extravagantfragrancess.com, it's on the master list. It's not on it's not a natural listing yet. So I just kind of got to get caught up with that. I need to get that up there. I'm gonna take the background off of this here because it looks like we're gonna see. That's one thing I like to do is I try to do like some experimenting. Those who are here in the chat, is the background annoying, or you guys don't mind the background, or would you prefer to see just a regular old my regular space here? Give me some feedback. Thanks for those shares, everybody. What's the hype with that white amber? I can't even smell it on me. Are you talking about the Creed white amber or the amber white? They have ads on live now. I heard YouTube is not paying good anymore. Yeah, here's the thing with YouTube. I never really relied on YouTube as a like the if you're talking about the ads. I never relied on them for anything. I just don't. For me, it's more about promoting the company, the Extravagant Fragrances website. Let me see here. Why does the original Dolce oil not smell like it used to? It used to be strong and peppery. I can't find that formula. The Hebrew Tactical, the original Dolce. What when you say original, what do you mean original? Like, because original, I don't know who you got your original one from. So, yeah. Hold on a second. Oh no, it took me all the way up to the top of the comments. So Damien, okay, so you're gonna use that roll-on as a as a sampler bottle. Uh, background is cool. Okay. Well, we're Prince of Real Estate. We're over here on two. We're doing two lives right now. We're on TikTok live, and we're also here on YouTube. I haven't. YouTube is always changing their interface, so I don't know what. I don't know if I can change the background here. Let's see here. I mean, I'm just kind of like messing around here, and seeing what has changed. Thanks for the follow there, B Trellin. I appreciate that. Like and share. If you have any questions, like and share. We've got about 30, over 35, 36 fragrances here. Yeah, amber white. It really depends, man. It really depends. That's supposed to, that fragrance right there is more for like the workplace, the office setting for people that, let's say, the medical field. They can't be around. They can't have any like loud fragrances. That's something that I will say that fragrance is for. How's it going? Thanks for joining in. We carry over 200 fragrances, non-alcoholic fragrances. So the Golden Oud by Al Haramain, 50-year-old oud is my favorite. Wow. Smells like herbs on the top, but dries down great. Look it up. Gold bottle like a masjid. That must be very expensive. Yeah, because all the aged oud is expensive stuff. Now I don't know if they're using it as a base note and then they're layering it down. But can you imagine what that's like a company like that, like having to make a fragrance which you have to plan out like 50 years ahead ago, like 50 years ago. That has to be a real task. Butter. So what's hot right now? As far as the fragrances, what's trending right now? I'm gonna have to say the Amir Al Oud for me. I mean, it might be different for everybody. Thank you. It might be different for everybody. But for me, it's going to be the Amir Al Oud and the soft or the Anawa Shok. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Um, no, not by Shirati. No, I know I've smelled that one, but no, that's not the one that I carry. I have some Siratis, but the one that I carry, it's not made by them. Um, yeah, that one I picked up like 2 pounds of that fragrance, and that one just sold out. It just, I just got wiped out a lot faster than I thought I would. So I'm gonna try something here because I don't know what the different algorithms are like. I'm over here. It's good to see. Good to talk to you. I wish I could say see you, but it's good to talk to you because I can't actually see you. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, brother. Switch out one of my fragrances and add a pink. So we're here live on two platforms. Damien says he's going to switch out his fragrances and add a pink privacy for tomorrow. So we also have vendors. Who take the fragrance and they go around. They sell them in their workplace, wherever they're at, and so Damien picked up an essential oil. It almost looks like a little. It's a small carry case which zips up, and he's rotating the fragrances out. So tomorrow he's saying tomorrow when he goes to work, he's going to take the pink privacy with him. What kind of feedback did you get on that, Damien? The blackberry musk. I don't know. That one, when I first got that fragrance, it was selling really well. And then it just slowed down. I mean, it really just all depends. I know some of the suppliers that with the fragrances, they discontinue some really good fragrances, right? And to be honest with you, I did a video on that where I talk about rebranding uh, the fragrances, renaming some of them, because it's just like it might be a really good fragrance, and there might not be a need to discontinue the fragrance because what's going on is you got a lot of people that are a lot of vendors that are kind of chasing the designer bandwagon, which is all good. I mean, if that's what you want to do. But the thing is, when you're chasing after the designer bandwagon, uh, the problem that I see with the designers sometimes is that it may go out. It may not be a trendy scent anymore. You get what I'm saying? And so, to be honest with you, I will actually switch the names up from time to time to something totally different, something that is not out on the market, and something that is completely different name. Um, but yeah, to answer your question about the blackberry musk, that one is it's not like in your face fruity. It's kind of like a toned down fruity, if that makes sense. It's kind of toned down. All right, here. We're gonna try something different here because I think the algorithms are starting to get jealous. They are getting jealous. The fragrances for women, we're over here. Tomorrow will be your first day taking out pink privacy, so we'll see. It kind of smells sweet, but I love it for women. I know that one is a big seller. Let me show you something. Hold on, so you can see right here. Yeah, this was it. I'm running a little low myself, and just so you can see, these are the ones that stay close to me. Boom, another one, Jamaican plum. I'm gonna have to refill this very soon. Yeah. What states are you guys viewing in from? We are here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Any feedback on that Egyptian musk, Damien? Hey, who was it that said that Suna Aroma is doing his thing? Tell me what he's up to. Is he posting online? I gotta check him out. I gotta check him out when I get a chance. I'm reaching out to some of my old fragrance peeps. I put out Egyptian. Okay, Detroit. Yeah, we're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. How's everything in Detroit? How's the weather? Sorry guys, I'm just here. I'm just here reposting something from the live I did over on TikTok. Uh, it's good. No snow at the moment. Yeah, yeah. Those last few weeks that we had, it was rough out here. Out here in Pennsylvania. Yeah, but it's I think it's starting to get a little cold again. So the BMC, the extravagant ones, yeah, I shut down the live on the other one because I think what's happening is, man, this AI is something else. It detects certain keywords, and I think it's noticing that okay, I'm engaging on another platform, so it doesn't want me talking on another platform. So it just got like the amount of people that were coming in, it was just slowed way down. So I'm gonna test some things out and experiment and see. Because these algorithms are always jealous. They're jealous of each other. The extravagant one is, I'm gonna say that one is something that when I think of extravagant one, I think of like a summer vacation, off to some like tropical island somewhere, going to like let's say Hawaii. I'm road tripping it. You know, that's kind of how I would describe it. It's got notes of apple in there, the green apple, some musks. It's got some aquatic notes. Um, that one is really good. Yeah, that one is good for. That's something that I would put it in like a fresh body wash, or a fresh smelling aquatic, slightly fruity shampoo. That's what it reminds me of. That's the best thing that's the best way I can describe that. Yeah. But I sent out the Genet to I forgot who I sent that. Oh, I sent that out to a customer, the Gen Nuts, which is very similar to White Oud. That one is one of the most underrated fragrances that I've ever picked up. Like the bottle is kind of running low. It seems to be picking up steam again. So yeah, that's another one of the trending fragrances, at least for me. Hey, Prince of Peace, thank you for that. Thanks for that. Oops, hold on a second. What just happened here? Um, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Prince of Peace. So I'm like trying to heart your. I'm trying to heart your. Um, what do you call the super chat? It's just my laptop is just kind of funny. I need a better laptop than this. And like when I tried to heart what you sent, there it is. When I try to heart what you sent, it this little box pops up to the left that I tapped on by accident, and it says report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel, or add as a moderator. And it's just like I don't know, man. Like, why do these platforms always try to get like? I understand like sometimes you get people coming in that are trolling you. Trust me, I get trolled all the time. But why do some of these tech platforms like to do stuff like that? Like uh like if you go on to like Skype, for example, you'll see, report this conversation, or like same with the blue book over there, right? I won't even say it. But over there, report this user. Like, what's up with that? Report this. And these are private conversations. What's up with that? What's up with all this encouragement on snitching on people? The white oud tomorrow from the sample pack. Man, let me tell you, Damien. In my car, I carry it. It stays in the car. That one is one of my it's probably my all-time favorite fragrance. But the Jenna is very similar. It's a very similar fragrance. In fact, those are the two fragrances that I've actually blended together. And I've had some fellow vendors like, hey, let me get that off of you. And I'm just like, yeah, these are brothers that I've known since I was a kid. I'm like, I'm not gonna say no. Here, you can have it. Uh, but I'm excited that I said that new mango that I'm trying to get coming in. That one is just it's a really premium fragrance. I think I got a lot of compliments on that. It's like layered. It's got like notes to it. It's a mango fragrance, but it's got some floral notes in there. And I'm thinking about naming that one "Remember Me." I don't know why. I wanted something that was gonna be a type of mango fragrance that somebody's gonna be proud to say what it is. So I don't know. We will see on that one. But let's talk about some stuff here, because I had brought up some topics here. We were talking about the blending. We were talking about layering. Um, who was it? A Prince of Peace. We were talking about. Uh, that's a great idea. I have done some. Well, they're not really. I don't know. But I've done like I've done like what do you call it? Like testimonials. Do you mean like that guy who does like street scents? He passed away during COVID. It was an older guy. I think he was in New York. His channel was literally, I think it was called Street Sense. Um, Are you talking about like that? You talking about, walking up to people and just like kind of interviewing them, that type of interview? Blue James H, yeah, the blue now, it has its crowd of people. You got your Blue Now fans out there. Um, I have to be honest with you. It is a nostalgic fragrance for me because I had a family member that used to wear it. There was yeah, a Brooklyn fragrance lover, Carlos. Yep, yeah, yeah. He was big. He was big with the street sense. Like he'd walk up to people with the microphone and talk to them and stuff like that. Uh, but the Blue Now, I carry it because I just gotta carry it. It's just one of those old classic fragrances that uh people still want. Like Damien was just got started in the fragrance business, and I'm like, uh you gotta get the Egyptian musk, because you're gonna have those out there that you're gonna want that Egyptian musk. It's just one of those traditional scents that it's good to keep, like Kush, right? Kush. What are some other ones? Patchouli. You're just gonna have people that want the frankincense and myrrh. Um, but the Blue Now that I carry, it is loud. It's a very loud Blue Now. Very, very loud. You got to go just real light. I knew a brother that tried to blend the Blue Now with something, and there's no missing it. You can't blend that and hide it. It's such a prominent scent that even if you put a drop in, let's say you make your own blend and you drop it in there, it's still gonna pop out. Uh, Damien, you said the mango one is another hit. Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that one because it's not too, for me, it's not too sweet. It's just like right in the middle. It's very fresh. Man. Yeah. Street Sense. Oh, okay, so those are two different platforms. Yeah, Carlos was the one that I remember. Shadid Muhammad, assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing? Yes, Shadid, brother, send me an email. Send me an email, and because I actually just sent out a sample pack today. There was a lady. She requested all the premiums, all the oud fragrances, all the imported, like the French fragrances, the Kuwaiti, the Saudi fragrances, and so I put together a sample pack and I sent that out to her. But even if it's just like the regular ones, like the regular roll-on ones, like the domestic ones on the master list that you see on the website, yeah, I can do that. You let me know. I got plenty of sample bottles, and I can send you out a mix of samples. And here I put my email here in the chat. Alhamdulillah. I appreciate that. Well, which fragrances have you tried that you like? Are you a vendor or you wear it for personal use? The Prince of Real Estate. So you were talking about doing the interviews. I'm still, you know what, man? I've tried to collab with some people, like doing interviews who are like people that are in different niches. Like there was one girl, she was just a perfumist, period. Like I just wanted to get exposure for the channel. And then I was like, oh, okay, she looks like she knows what she's doing. And I wanted to do like a Q&A. Like, I don't care if I'm promoting her platform. Like, because at the end of the day, I still have people that like my product, right? And I'm sure she has people that likes her product. But it was just so weird, man. Like I tried to do an interview with her, like a Q&A, like a little collaboration type of deal. And it was so weird, man. Like I'm not gonna say what platform she was on, but she just, I think she was faking the funk. She was like, I think she was like pretending that she had like an assistant and she didn't really have an assistant. And she was like, okay, send me this information about your company. And then like after that, I sent her information about my company. And then like it was just a real weird going back and forth. And then it just never ended up happening. And there's been a couple people like that where I'm like, I try to do a Q&A where I bring them on, and they out their product. Like I don't care if you are in the fragrance business. A lot of people are afraid. Well, yeah, I'm going to lose all my followers. They're going to go over here, and I don't want to. They might see it as like a conflict of interest. I don't really see it like that. I don't see it like that. I'm all about promoting just the fragrance business in general. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to bring on like a supplier, or something like that. But like I'm saying, like people that are kind of semi niche, semi in my niche. You get what I'm saying? That's the kind of people I like to talk to, you know. And in this case, this girl was a perfumist. She literally made perfumes. I'm not a I will consider myself a kind of a connoisseur, but I'm not a perfumist. You know what I mean? And there was things that I could have learned, and my audience could have learned from this girl, uh, that would have benefited her probably more than me. So, Shadi Muhammad, good, good, good. Thinking about selling again. Oh, so, okay. So you used to sell the fragrances. What state are you out of, brother? So let's see here. We had a little list, a little talking list here of some things that I wanted to bring up. We were talking about blending. So I went up here on Chat GPT because I'm sometimes I run out of ideas of like topics and stuff like that. So Chat GPT, they gave me I said, give me 10 things to talk about for a YouTube live stream. And it said perfume packaging design. I said, give me 10 non-fragrant subjects to talk about on a niche perfume live stream. So it's a perfume packaging design, ingredient spotlight, perfume and memory, uh, uh, niche perfume houses, scent layering. If there's a topic here you guys want to hear, let me know. Scent layering tips, sustainability and perfumery. That one always comes up anytime I talk to Chat GPT, and they always want to talk about sustainability. I'm not, I'm all about sustainability, but I'm not a big fan of like paper straws and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. Um, Perfume and fashion. See, that's the cool thing about perfume and fashion is because there's it really is an art form. You know what I mean? You're from Texas, Shadid, brother Shadid. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, man, to get into it. I really do. I think it's a good idea to at least let your people know that that's what you do. If you say you used to sell growing up back in Georgia, we used to say Muslim oils. That people still do that. People still call them the Muslim oils, or they say those little oils. Um, yeah, I would recommend it. I would recommend it because, and I would also, especially, I would recommend building up like a contact list um of people that you deal with. Get If you go to, what is it? It's called I'm getting GoDaddy mixed up here. Uh, Mailchimp. It's free for like the first 100 or a couple hundred subscribers. After that, like once you get a more and more subscribers, then you have to pay for it monthly. But that's where you could start marketing to your subscribers, right? I highly recommend that, because the thing is, you got these different platforms that are, you know, the big platforms. I won't say who, but you got your big selling platforms that are abusing crafters. They're abusing sellers. Um, they're like specifically with the fragrance body oil business. They definitely don't want you selling like the comparative advertising fragrance oils. I'm just gonna call it what it is for this for the you know and it's totally legal. It's totally legal, right? So they don't want you selling those fragrances up there. So, and the thing is, like a lot of these big platforms, selling platforms, they are, if it's easy to get set up. Like for example, um, it's easy to get set up and start selling, but they're collecting all of the data. They're saying the data is the new oil, right? They're collecting all of the data, all of the customer acquisition. They got it set up where you can't contact your customer. They keep all of that. They keep all of the contact information, the phone numbers, the emails, the addresses, so that way they can remarket to your customer on those platforms, and you're out. You are out. You're out of it. So you have no customer acquisition, no way to remarket to those people. Um, and if you do, they'll kick you off the platform. Shopify is good. Shopify is good. In my opinion, I don't have Shopify. I deal with big commerce, but to be honest, I'm about to make a switch over to Shopify just because Monica here said that I can't stand Etsy. I used to sell on Etsy. I cannot stand Etsy. I would highly recommend it. There's a brother who I know, another Muslim brother who subhanallah, he's actually he actually has I'm trying to be politically correct here. He has a type of disability, but he's very intelligent. This brother, he makes perfume out of just things around him. Like he could take a poblano pepper, uh he could take black tea and make a solid rock perfume out of it and then break it down, right? He got kicked off of Etsy. I was on Etsy. I had like 4.5 stars. Like, they kicked me off. They kicked me off. I've heard of people making $100,000 a year on Etsy and just getting kicked off for no rhyme or reason. And again, like I said, like they don't care. It's their platform. You're building up real estate on leased land. So the thing is, like with Shopify, for example, that is a platform in which you can have the customer acquisition, right? Yeah, these platforms, and I'm just going to break it down. The big designer brands, they actually send out agencies to these platforms to remove all of these fragrances, like the designer oils and stuff. Even it doesn't matter if you say compared to. There's so many of them out there, and like every year or so, they'll just clean out house and they'll just take all those listings down. So that's why I'm really big now on focusing on niche. I'm really big now on focusing on non-trademark names, right? Like Mango, right? Look at Tom Ford, for example. You know, he'll come out with a single note fragrance, and that's it. right? Because everybody's single note fragrance might be different. So I'm a big fan of that. And I have had fragrances that I've recommended in the past, like white oud, for example. If it's a good fragrance, the way that fragrance smells is going to outshine whatever the name is, you know. And when a person starts getting crazy compliments on a particular fragrance, um, they're just going to be like, "Hey, what was that fragrance you sent me again? Send that to me." You know, if they forgot what the name was, they're definitely going to remember the smell. So I highly advise against starting on Etsy. If you know, if you're new into the handcrafted or something like that, you know, you just know that they can take your website, they can take your whole store down, with no real reasons why. Amazon too, they're another one. I mean, I go there sometimes. I'm not a big fan of Amazon, but it's same thing, same thing. So you want to have it where you can be able to get the mailing address, the email address, the phone numbers where you can market to the customer and have control over that. And not these big platforms, not the big platforms, because that's what they're getting from the sellers. They're collecting all of that, and it's really a power move. It's really a big. It's probably the biggest power move I can think of in the world of commerce. You know that the small enterprise businesses aren't really aware of. Hold on, we got some questions back up here. Damie said, "Have you had other people who got started in doing wholesale fragrances?" Yeah. You mean like ordering the wholesale kits or going into wholesale and re-wholesaling them? I've actually had people take those actual kits that you have and then turn around and just flip the whole kit. I had one customer that was doing that, and he was just turning around just flipping the kits. But yeah, from there, boom, you could just keep on going on up different sizes. Let me see. Prince of real estate, yeah, definitely. That same supplier, because I'm not gonna put my connects out there. But yeah, there was a brother, the same supplier that I told you where they named the fragrances like celebrity names and stuff like that. When I called the brother up, I found out his father had passed away, but his father was a Black American brother, baby boomer, and he was an ex-Vietnam veteran, and I just found out, yeah, he passed away, but uh I was told that he was a millionaire, you know. The thing is, it comes with time, it comes with patience. You really have to, when you're in this business, you really have to love the business. And again, you have to have that customer acquisition, even if say like you're a street vendor. That's like the biggest mistake I see street vendors make is they're just selling, and there's no kind of customer acquisition whatsoever. There's no, hey, listen, if it was me, if I was a street vendor, you know what I would do? I would be like, listen, if you sign up today, because that's what these department stores are doing. If you sign up for our cash reward, blah blah blah, whatever, you get an X% off today. And what are they doing? They're getting your email address, they're getting your phone number, and what have you, right? So, to my street vendors out there, you know, I would, that's something that I would recommend doing is collecting your customer information, so that way you don't have that way you're able to reach back out and remarket. Okay, so let's see. Shadi, yes, there's brother. I know brothers that have sold that had hotels, they had 7-Elevens, they sold all of them and they got into this business. I know of some brothers that were engineers, and they kind of catapulted into this business. So yeah, it can be, but the thing is, this is something that you really have to build up over time. Some I know some brothers that they moved with it very quickly. If you're in a city or an area where it is a very populated, very dense population, lots of foot traffic, that's where you want to be. One second, I'm trying to read the comments here. Um, Shadid Atabo, like this guys, can you help with car sense? Do you have a product to make the body oil into spray? I would want to provide both oils and body spray. Um, yeah. So the body oils, if you want to make the body oils into a spray, I there's a there's a product that I carry. It's called the surfactant, Surfonic N120. And what that does is basically you take the fragrance oil, you mix it into the Surfonic N120, and then after that you fill you fill it up with water. And what it will do is it will basically take the oiliness out of the fragrance. It will, so that way when you spray it and you shake it up and you spray it, it doesn't create like an oily residue on like surfaces and stuff like that, right? So if somebody sprays it in the car, it won't leave like that oily residue. You got some car sprays out there that are just straight concentrated oil. Like for example, like the Blunt Effect brand, right? Like they sell it like, as far as I remember looking on that bottle, I think it's a concentrated oil, which is good. Like if you want to spray it on, if you want that area to smell like that fragrance for a long time, but that's not something you want to spray on your dashboard. You get what I'm saying? Because like the fragrance oils, if you get it on plastic and it stays like just the pure oil, if you get it on plastic, it will melt plastic over time, because these are fragrance oils. They are a petroleum. They have petroleum byproduct ingredients in it, and plastic is also made from is made from petroleum. So if you get the fragrance oil on the plastics, if they sit there long enough, they'll definitely melt. And that's some plastics. That's some plastics. Like for example, like the webcam that I'm using, like this kind of plastic, it'll melt. If you leave it there long enough. Now, HDPE plastic, which is what I ship the fragrance oils in, those don't melt. Those don't melt. They're made for fragrance oils. Um, so yeah, you can definitely make the body oils into the spray with the Surfonic N120. The only thing with that is like I have it stored in an outdoor facility. I have one of them stored in an indoor facility. But if you're storing it outdoors, it will solidify. So that's something that I recommend. If you're storing it, you want to store it in a climate controlled environment. And as far as both oils and body spray, um, okay. So when you were talking, can you help with the car scents? Yeah. Okay. So we talked about that, and then the sprays. I don't know. I've never really been into the sprays. I've done sprays for myself. Like I have some fragrances, like the extravagant one that I had a family member that wanted it, and I made it into a spray and I gave it to him, and he was just as excited about that fragrance as he could be. So it really depends on you. I've seen vendors out there that do make the sprays, and they make it into a body spray. Um, right now I'm seeing it's one of the trends in this industry, particularly the fragrance oil industry, is I'm seeing a lot of branding. People are really stepping their game up with the branding, which is something I plan on doing shortly, very soon. Because like, let's say for example, like the car sprays, if you have it in a nice bottle with a good label on it, a good packaging, you have a better chance at, I think, in getting it into, let's say, a wholesale distributor, for example, right? Versus, if you come in with a regular plain black and white label, you might not have a better chance. But if you have it with a nice professional looking label that looks like it belongs on the store shelf, um, that's how I would personally market, like let's say a car spray. You get what I'm saying? The body spray base, Monica. I'm still trying to learn that myself. There is I think there's a linen base that is used to make the body sprays. Yeah, it's like darn it, it's to make linen sprays. But I don't know if you can use that on the body. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. That's not something that I really actually looked into. Yeah, they're usually a mix of alcohol and water and a surfactant. Yeah, see, I'm still trying to figure out how that goes. I know exactly what you're talking about, because I saw something online where they were talking about how to make linen sprays, and the base was, yeah, it was a mix of alcohol, water, and surfactant. What water, alcohol, surfactant, and dipropylene glycol. Which I'm like, why dipropylene glycol in that formula? Um, hold on, Damien. What was the question again? So Damien, yeah, yeah. I honestly, man, I backed off of them wholesale kits for a while, just because it was just I was just honestly I was getting too bombarded with those kits, and I had a family member helping me out with those kits. But it's okay. We're back in on those kits. I've actually sold quite a few of those kits to people who have started off with those kits. So it's the perfect size. The 1/3 roll on is like the most popular size to start off with. That's the reason why it's the one I promote the most. Is just because that's what I got started with, and mentors, and just straight across the board, people that are in this industry, that if you ask anybody, that's their most popular size. Most people are going to tell you that. With the 1/3 roll on is the most popular size. But the secret is, um, and there's another Suna Aroma. He's big on this, which is making his own blends and giving his own names. That's the secret, because let's say if you're in a city where you got 100 vendors selling, I don't know, mango or Jamaican plum or whatever fruit fragrance or pink sugar, right? If you got a million people selling the same thing, then you may have yourself some competition. But if you change the name, then now you can outmaneuver your competition if you have multiple vendors in the same city. Um, Got to have a CRM for all businesses. Prince of Peace, what is Prince of Real Estate? Um, the CRM. What is that? What does that stand for? CRM? Turning the oil into a perfume. Yeah, I do. I do that for myself sometimes. Like here, I'll show you guys. Hold on a second. So this is something. This is like a blend of a couple different ouds, like the white oud and a couple different imported fragrances. I do for my own personal use, but that's not really something that I promote. Just you know, but yeah, this is a nice one, and it kind of like stays on for a long time. This is a nice one. That's something you can do. Hold on a second, we got another one here. Thanks, babe. Which one is this? So this is a vanilla one here is also, right? Yeah, this is a vanilla. And the wifey loves this one right here. Now I put out a short video where I was talking about the crystallizing of Egyptian musk and how you can turn it into a spray like this. And I have to be honest with you, I need to do a follow-up video on that, and that didn't go too well because the crystallization of the Egyptian musk uh, actually clogged up the little, what's this little part right here called? The little, I don't want to call it a straw, but it's like the little atomizer straw. So that didn't work out too well. Like if you're making thicker fragrances into sprays, like the thick Egyptian musk to crystallize, and it didn't work out too well for me. I don't know if an Egyptian musk without the crystallizing, if that works. But yeah, this is another one here, and this is another good one. I'd like to do this try this with the vanilla bean. But yeah, because the thing is, if I start doing this, then I've got to start carrying atomizers and you know what? The atomizers are very expensive. Atomizers, even like the plain, like the car sprays with the plastic atomizer, the actual atomizer costs more than the bottle itself. So that's just another reason why I never really got deep into doing these. These are just like something for the house and something I'm on the go, and I just want to spray something real quick on my clothes. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, yeah. You talking about the sprays, Damien? Yeah, that's another reason why. I mean, if you're talking about the sprays, that's another reason why I never really got into the sprays, is because like that's my whole selling point. Is like the oils, it's compact, it's a roll on. You could literally throw that little 3 ml, 6 ml, 12 ml in your pocket, and just be on the go with it. You know, again, like I don't have problem with the sprays. I mean, they're fun. Like if you have friends or family, they come around and they want to see the sprays, and you're like, look, boom, I make my own fragrance, I make my own perfume, and they're like, they get all excited. But as a business model, I don't really prefer the sprays, just because like once you start going this route, then now you really got to start focusing on marketing. You really got to start spending on an expensive package or an expensive label and a real premium look. You know what I'm saying? Some people do it. Like there's the one brand called Alt, I think. But again, that's their niche. And that's, most people don't realize it, but it's kind of also, there's some gray area in that kind of niche where vendors are being targeted. They are being targeted. I don't care, even if you say compared to, right? Um, um, you still have agencies out there that target those businesses. So that's another reason why I prefer to stay away from the sprays. You know, they don't want me doing sprays. Fine, I won't do sprays. You don't want me to be like the design? No problem. I'll start creating my own trends, and that's really honestly, um, to me, it's very empowering if you can start your own trends. Even if, let's say, even if it's like a micro trend, right? And when I say micro trend, I'm saying like if you're in a city, right? You know who's big for doing like these kind of trends, who's really big on pushing trends, is in Philadelphia. The brothers out there, they'll make their own names for certain fragrances, like the Anna Show. Um, right here, hold on a second. I got this bottle. So BMC, just so you know, When I say I'll have a package in the morning, it's right here. Literally, this is the Anno Ashok. This is the French fragrance right here. And one of the brothers that sold this to me, he's from Philadelphia. He was in the he spent some time in Morocco. He was selling this as a street vendor, and then he's like, yeah, he's like, I was the one that named that fragrance, and he brought it back to Philly, and he turned to some of the brothers in Philly onto the Anna Shulk, and then it took on different names. Then it went to Anta, which means you in Arabic. But again, like I was saying, as far as like doing like micro trends, right? Like a micro trends in your area. It could be in your community. It could be on your block. If you're a street vendor, I see a lot of vendors doing that, where they'll give it their own name, and really, to be honest with you, that gives you an edge, because see, when you're dealing with the big brands, whenever they come out with a new fragrance, they have to come out with a new bottle. They got to come out with a new uh uh a marketing, whole plan and a whole campaign, and they got to go out there and hire the models and all of this stuff. And here it is, you the street vendor, or the regular vendor, the brick and mortar vendor or whatever. You're creating your own names on the fly, and and seeing what sticks. And if it doesn't work, boom, okay, you didn't spend millions of dollars on a custom made perfume bottle. You get what I'm saying? You just, okay, that name didn't work, I'm changing it to something else. I knew a brother, he was another one that he did very well. He also passed away as well. He was one of the brothers that taught me the fragrance business, and lavender wasn't selling well in his community. There was a lot of Black Americans in his community, and lavender was not selling well. And he was like, he changed it to Mother's Love. And when he changed it to Mother's Love, he's like, because when he's like lavender, he's like, when you smell lavender, it reminds you of like a mother's love. And when she goes to do the laundry and it smells fresh, he's like, that reminds you of a mother's love. And he named it Mother's Love, and that thing just took off. So that's what I'm saying. That's one of the cool things about being in this niche, is it allows you to pivot whenever you need to make a pivot, uh, to appeal to the right customer. Yeah. Now I have to say this. Sometimes believe it or not, sometimes there are certain moods that I just don't want any oil on my skin. There are certain times, like, I don't know what it is, but like when I go work out, I don't like to put oil on before I go work out. I just don't know what it is, right? I don't like to put any fragrance on when I go work out, because it just messes with me. It kind of, like, I think it distracts me. There's times where I don't want to put any oil on. I just want to just spray a little bit of something, and you know, it just really kind of just depends on your mood. But overall, I'm definitely an oil guy. Yeah. See, and that's another thing too. That's another thing about the oils is, if you go to try to ship, right? The post office always asks you, are you sending this or that alcohol? Now, the sprays are combustible. They are flammable. The fragrance oils are not flammable at all. The brother I said that, who talked about the Mother's Love fragrance, right? He was like, you got to explain to these guys at the post office, like, he's like, I had to pour it on the counter and show them with a lighter that it won't go up in flames. Um, BMC, whatever fragrance that you're carrying, you can rename it, as long as yeah, if it's one of those compared to, yeah, you can rename those, because they're not the originals anyway. The originals are the ones that are in the actual custom bottles, right? Um, So when it comes to like trademark, you got to be very, very careful. When it comes to trying to tout your product as the original, you got to be very, very careful. Because like I said, these companies, they actually have agencies that go around, and I get hit with it all the time. Like they'll send me emails trying to, people trying to solicit me to do illegal stuff and whatnot, and I see straight through them. Like I can see it. You know what I mean? Um, so my recommendation for those who are in this field, who are in the fragrance industry, um, and this is something that is done a lot with candle makers, is what they'll do is they first off, I would recommend talking to, if you're really serious about getting in the fragrance businesses, talk to a legal professional. When I first got started, I went through LegalZoom, and they will give you legal advice on, you could talk to a trademark attorney, and they will tell you what you can do and what you can't do. And one of the pieces of advice that the trademark attorney gave me when I first started off was to go to the website. It's called uspto.gov, and you can look for fragrances, or not, I'm sorry, not fragrances. You can look for names that are trademarked, right? Which ones are taken, which ones are registered trademarks, and uh, and if it's a registered trademark, you got to stay away from that, or you have to get the permission from them to use that name. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're gonna get hit with a cease and desist, and you could get your, just it can cause a lot of problems for your business. Um, and you can end up in some like real legal issues. What percentage of body oils do you think are synthetic, and how many scents do you have that is not synthetic? I don't know exactly, brother Shadid. I don't know exactly um, what percentage of oils are synthetic, but I can tell you what, I can give you a wild guess, and I will say that all of the fragrance oils are synthetic. I will say they're all. I would venture to say they're all synthetic, but I don't know how much of the fragrances are, how much percentage of them is synthetic. I do know that like when you're starting to deal with like the expensive imports, like the ouds, the French utters, they those fragrances are a lot more pure, right? So like I have quite a few French fragrances that are like the purity is like 40% um pure than a lot of like the majority of the domestic fragrances that I carry. Um, if that answers your question. But back in the day, like if you truly want to make a 100% pure fragrance. Now I will say this though, not to cut the subject. The manufacturers now who make perfume, who make the fragrance, they're getting better. You're getting a lot of people that are saying that are asking for, they don't want phthalates, spelled PHLA. Wait, phthalates, PHLYATES, I think, which is a phthalates is an endocrine disruptor, right? So you're getting people that, and there's a lot of fragrances that have them in there. Yeah, yeah, Monica, you said it. There's a lot of fragrances that have phthalates in them, right? So you're getting a lot of, that's a trend that I'm seeing in the fragrance world, that people are starting to request fragrances that are phthalate free. Um, for me, when it comes to fragrance, you know, I don't wear the same fragrances every day. A majority of them, I will say, don't have phthalates in them. But but there are certain fragrances that just, it's hard to make it without it. It's hard to make it because there's certain ingredients that that they need to make that fragrance, to give it all the properties that it needs to make it smell a certain way, or to give it certain properties. right? So yeah, I just personally, it's not really something that I'm, you know, that I'm going to lose sleep over, because the reality is, like, even in the foods that we eat, you have a lot of impurities just in the American diet, just in general. Yeah, it's so phthalates, as far as I know, like I was saying, it there are certain properties that is needed in certain fragrances, right? Like a lot of thick fragrances. It's used in a lot of thickeners. Uh, and so without it, you're not going to have some fragrances are not going to be thick. Um, but yeah, it's something that's common, definitely common. I just personally, I know that there are some things that, let's say, in my lifestyle that maybe I should probably be better with. You know, there's certain fragrances that I wear, and I'm like, I know this stuff isn't pure. You know what I mean? But I also I'm pretty big on detoxing as well. So that's the reason why I also detox, because I know I'm coming in contact and I'm being exposed to all kinds of chemicals in my life. Like there was like BPA's, for example. I was looking at a documentary and they were talking about Monica said you only live once, right? I'm sorry. I mean, it's just like, if it's a fragrance that's gonna get me attention, or that with my spouse, right? Or it's just, yeah, I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put just a little dab of it on. That's just me. As long as it doesn't directly harm me right away. But again, like I said, I'm really big on detoxing, because again, like I said, we're constantly exposed to chemicals in a lot of other areas, like just touching plastic, right? That has BPA in it. That stuff ends up in your bloodstream. You can't avoid it. You really can't. Or if you can, it's very hard to avoid. Um, now BPA is one thing that I'm highly against. I have no idea why it's used in can liners. There was a scientist that came out and he was like, I don't know. He's like, the amount of BPA that's in plastics. He's like it is in can liners is enough. It's like this. He equated it to synthetic estrogen. Literally, people that actually need estrogen. He was like, he equated it to that. And so that's why now, like, if there's absolutely no need for it to be in there, like, why is it in there? Why is it in spaghetti cans? Like the Hunt's tomato sauce, they found had the highest level of BPA in the cans. And so now Hunt's finally came out with a can that actually doesn't have BPA's in it. So you've seen a lot of companies now that are like, oh, yeah, we don't need to have this in the can. Just because it's just harmful. It's harmful. It causes birth defects. It's harmful to babies and children. And it is a heavy endocrine disruptor. But yeah, I can't believe it's Friday already. SubhanAllah, it's already Friday. It's, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm tripping here. I'm tripping. It's Wednesday. Wow. I'm sorry. I was looking at the date, and I how sometimes you just look and you're like, you think you're seeing one thing and you're seeing something else. I'm looking and it says February 7th. It was February. My wife was like, she's like, huh? It's February 7th, Wednesday, February 7th. Wow. Okay, good. We still got some days. I guess still got time to do some things. It just seems like lately, like Friday's just been coming up. It's just been coming up so fast. It's like I go to sleep, I wake up, it's Friday. Yeah, it's so strange. That's so weird. Monica says she thought it was Friday too. Uh, yeah, no, it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. What the heck? It's Wednesday. I thought it was. I swear I thought it was Friday. Like, because it's midnight. We just hit midnight. Yeah, that's funny. But uh what I would like to bring up here in the live streams, if you guys have any ideas on things that you like to talk about. I'm big on history. I love history. I mean, like real history, not fake history. But I'm a big fan of history, especially with like the fragrance, like how it was traded, how perfume was traded in the past. That's something that I like to get into. Maybe trying to think, how do I do? I think I have to have a special app to do like a reaction video, I guess, where we can view let's say a video or something and watch it at the same time. That's something I'll have to look into. Maybe you guys know about that, but I'm really big on researching and learning how perfume was done in the past, how traders when they were going along the incense roots of the past, how perfume was actually one of the items that they would carry with them when they would be on the incense trade routes. Because when you're dealing with resins, you're dealing with like frankincense, for example. You sound you sound moving fast. I need to slow down, man. I need to slow down. Yeah. Subhanallah. Ugh. Um, but yeah, that reminds me of that brother. I want to get in contact with this brother. Uh, believe it or not, this brother, he's actually, subhanallah, there was a lot I didn't know about autism, and I didn't know that like there's different levels of it, and there are actually a lot of really intelligent autistic people out there. This brother is very artistic. He's autistic, but he's also very artistic, and he's a small crafter. He crafts um, artisan perfumes, and when I say artisan perfumes, like he literally he breaks down like natural ingredients. Like one of the brothers there was talking about. We were talking about synthetics. This brother actually that I'm telling you about, he he can break down natural ingredients and literally turn them into a perfume. So he can take like, let's say, frankincense resin, and he can break that down to where, so many days later or whatever, you're rolling it on out of a roll-on bottle. Um, he took a poblano pepper and made a perfume out of it. And then one of the wildest things I saw was he took uh, Assam black tea and turned it into a solid perfume. Spaggy Ricks? What's Spaggy Ricks? Is that how you say it? Spagyrix? Spagyrix or Spagyrix? We got a little guinea pig in this house. Spagyrix. Okay. Well, what is that? This little guinea pig, whenever he hears a little lettuce coming out of the refrigerator, he starts squeaking. He thinks anytime a bag is crinkling, he starts squeaking because he thinks he's gonna get a little snack, which he is about to eat now, but he gets all excited. Monica, you were the one that was on the other night? Or were you out of Seattle? How's it going? Yeah, so I'm thinking that mango fragrance. I'm thinking remember me. Remember me. That's what I'm thinking. I think that sounds like a very unique scent. Yeah, I'm thinking of using remember me. Just because I want it to be a memorable fragrance. So let's say when someone's wearing it, if it's a man or a woman, um, then it sounds. I think it sounds elegant. Yeah, it's definitely unisex. You know. What would love for you to do in history over since that would be interesting. So I like the latest shorts that you put up. Yeah, the AI. Yeah, I want to go over the history of scents. There was a fragrance that was made. I think it was the oldest fragrance. Let me look this up since I'm here. I might as well look it up right now. It was a fragrance that was boom chat. We got Chat GPT. Um, so let me explain to you about the. I'll talk to you, brother Shadid, about the AI. Hold on. What is the oldest fragrance? Well, let's just say perfume. Perfume in okay, so here we go. Well, that was short. So it says the oldest continuously operating perfumery in America is Caswell. No, that's not what I'm asking. Okay, hold on. One of the oldest continuously operating perfumery in America is Caswell Massey, established in 1752. They are known for their historic fragrances and have been creating scents for centuries. One of their notable fragrances is the number six. Interesting. Which dates back to, you got a lot of companies promoting that number six, which dates back to 1789 and is considered one of the oldest continuously produced fragrance formulas in the United States. Interesting. Caswell Massey, that's crazy. It's the one of the oldest perfumeries, but I've never heard of them. I really haven't. You know about the big car brands, the big designer brands, but I've never heard of this one. This this fragrance perfumery. So the brother Shadid, I was gonna say the AI that is the AI. Basically, what I've done is and there's a few different apps. I just didn't know. I think you're probably like one of the only ones that really cared about that one. I didn't get much feedback on that because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create characters through fragrance characters, basically. Like the most recent one was he was promoting. I call him the General. Next time, maybe I'll try to have him back on. But the AI that I'm using is you have what they call credits, and it's only, you only have like a few seconds you can use each month, and I think it was like only like a minute worth. So you got to make these videos like real short, and I call him the General, just because I'm trying to. Uh, you have a lot of again, you have a lot of your mainstream uh, perfumes where they're promoting their perfumes, but they're also promoting their own models and all of this stuff. And so I want to promote my own models, my own. I want to appeal to um, uh, my own audience, through an AI character in which they can see that they can see different visuals, they can see different trends, right? And so I had the guy up there who was call him the general. He was explaining the fragrances, and so I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll try to do some more of those. Monica says just to go show how easy it is to develop a niche in following in fragrances. I hope so. I have some fragrances that just were total flops. Um, and then like they'll kind of like die off, and then next thing you know, people are wanting them again. Um, I've had fragrances like that. Like the Gen Nut is a perfect example. I've had that fragrance now. When I first got the white oud, I've ordered white oud more than once. Um, just because it kind of grew legs and just took off. And then, but the Gen Nut, which I really thought was going to be a super popular fragrance, that fragrance, um, that fragrance, I had a couple wholesale customers that bought a lot of the Gen Nut, and then like it kind of like died down, and now that one is like picking up steam again. So that's why like when I'm dealing with some suppliers, that's another thing that again, like I said, that I don't like is that when they're dealing with like designer fragrances, they're chasing trends. They're constantly chasing a trend, and they can't. Once a trend dies, and now you got other name brands coming in, and people don't want the old stuff anymore, and so then they're stuck with it, and then they end up having to do they end up having to do like a closeout, right, or a discount, which is okay. It's okay, but the thing is, like, if I'm a vendor, for example, and I order this a particular fragrance, and now my customers are used to that, and they keep asking for it, and not then I call you back, and you're like, yeah, we discontinued that. We don't have that anymore. Um, so that's why I usually like if I stock something in a library, I usually try to keep it. I try to make sure I keep it, and maybe naming my own scents. Yeah, maybe it might be a little slower, but in the long haul, it kind of puts me in a better position where I don't have to chase trends. I can create trends, and again, that's kind of what I'm really trying to promote here. I'm really trying to promote the for you guys, like some of the vendors, to create your own trends. Yeah. Brother Shadi says, just trust me, keep on because you just have to push it. It will catch on. Inshallah. Inshallah. Yeah, Monica, I've actually been, believe it or not, I've actually been following a lot of candle makers because it's kind of similar in some sense to the personal fragrance. I've actually learned quite a bit from candle makers that actually relate over to this side, which is like the body oils. I also, I do the handcrafted incense, and I'm just believe it or not, I'm learning what the word throw. So throw, it means like, say for example, like you light an incense stick, and then the fragrance that goes, that the way it projects into a room, right? Um, yeah, candles is a huge market. It is a huge market. Um, yeah, so the term throw is one that I just recently learned from candle makers. Yeah, some people do both. I've seen crafters that do incense and candles. I've seen crafters that do. What's interesting is like on this side, I don't know many people that do like the melts, or I don't know many body or incense sellers that do candles. And I think a lot of it has to do with the testing different wicks. That's another thing that I learned with candle makers is that they have to test different wicks out, different wick sizes, different fragrance oils don't actually blend well with certain waxes. So yeah, it's a process. So the brother Shadid said, "Give me your top 5 countries when it comes to oils, and tell me what countries you would like to visit so that you can check out their oils." I would love to go to Dubai. Would be one of my top destinations if I could go check out oils, just because the Arabs are very they're very picky, man, when it comes to fragrance. Very picky, which is a good thing. That means they have high standards. But there's something to that. I think I spoke about this before, and that was that when they the weather in the Middle East is very hot. I've been to Dubai before, but it's very hot. Like who you want to know who makes money there? The taxi drivers, because as soon as you get outside in the summertime, the first thing when I was there, this was years ago, um, many years ago. I was like 20 years old. When you get out there, like I was there was a sandstorm that had just passed through, so there was still like sand on the streets. But those taxi drivers, they know it. They know that you're hot. You just want to get into an AC car, with the AC on and get where you need to go. But I think Dubai does fragrance really well. I would like to visit Saudi Arabia. I would love to visit Kuwait. I would love to visit Kanaj, just because that's a fragrance destination. India. They supply a lot of the raw materials to manufacturers in Dubai. Uh, anywhere there's spice, anywhere there you have spice crops, you're gonna have perfume. Um, and again, every country produces something different. So for example, like Ethiopia, they are big with the frankincense. Somalia, they have frankincense. So maybe they might not have certain spices that they produce, but they're very big on frankincense, and that's a raw material that's needed in the perfume world. Here in the United States, we're big on the florals, right? Uh, I'd like to see, I would like to see somebody make. I don't know. Maybe I could try this out, but I'd love to see a pine fragrance, a pine like. So you have like your frankincense resins that are used in fragrances, and it's big with the brothers in the Middle East. Like they definitely use frankincense. They use your ambers. They use a lot of resins, but I've never seen here being here in North America. I've never seen anybody do, uh, because pine is a resin. Like there's resins that come out of pine trees as well. I've never seen somebody make a perfume out of pine, like a really nice, really luxurious pine, and layer it down. I'd love to see that. I would love to see that done. Maybe that's a project that I'll take on, and kind of test out and see how that goes. But and I mean like a pine that doesn't smell like pine saw, right? Or like the Murphy's wax. You know what I mean? Something that's got some notes and layers to it. That would be a real nice experiment to see how that goes. But anyways, we're going on 2 hours here. I'm gonna be wrapping this up, guys. If you guys have any questions, um, put them down in the chat before I check out. And if you have any questions about fragrance, you can again, I'm gonna put my email here. You can also send me an email. And boom, I put my website as well. All right. So, anyways, guys, I'm wrapping it up. Yep, this is a nice long live stream. If you have any recommendations, the brother asked to do more of the AI characters. I will try to do more of those. Any recommended subjects you'd like for me to speak on next time I do a live stream, inshallah, I will try to do that as well. So, but anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Take care, everybody.